Hello guys, a little bit of info from the editing room. Before the video starts, there are some technical audio issues. I recorded for the first time on OBS. I normally don't record on OBS and there is a slight audio lag of a few 100-200 milliseconds. So this part should be good. But the main video could lag a bit with my sync in audio when I talk. But you can still just watch it off screen if you want to. Shouldn't be any problem. But now you know that this technical issue is here. But that's all. That there is nothing else. So enjoy the video. Bye bye. Hello guys, welcome to a new Get Rekt news video, and today I want to make a special video about the Nvidia leaks, the really famous list that Nvidia leaked themselves that were basically a lot of games that were supposed to be secret, but a lot of these games that got leaked, some of them actually came true before they were announced. Now, Max, this leak is very old. Why do you want to focus on today's video on this list? Because so many games that were not announced now got announced that were on this leak. And I actually wanted to go back to this Nvidia leak to see what's on this list. What games could be basically announced. Now that this leak is basically very real. There might be some stuff on this Nvidia leak that still are maybe just placeholder names or titles. But after the announcement, especially of Kingdom Hearts 4, which happened a few weeks ago now, I am pretty certain that most of the stuff on this list is pretty real. And today I wanted to take a look at other games that haven't been announced yet whatsoever, that are on this list, and I want to take a look at them. Game developers are not safe for me. So on Reddit, on the gaming leaks and rumors r/gaming leaks and rumors, which is a Reddit page I come very often to see for news and information myself. They compiled everything that is in the GeForce Now database leak. They compiled it, put some information for every title, and I wanted to go over everything there. Now, the first things that are noted that are basically titles from Sony, especially games that are getting ported over to PC. So we have Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Edition, which is true. Horizon Forbidden West hasn't happened yet, but it's also on the list. GT7 hasn't happened yet. God of War has happened, has now a PC release. Returnal is also on this list, and it's then also getting a PC release. Demon's Souls as well. So most of the PlayStation exclusives that we have now on even PlayStation 5 are also getting PC versions. Now, there could be maybe some titles thrown in there just as a placeholder, but I don't know. Sony has invested in a new studio to especially make PC ports for their exclusives, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Returnal or Demon's Souls at some point going to PC. Ratchet & Clank, also mentioned in the list. Ghost of Tsushima, one of my favorite personal PlayStation 4 exclusives, also coming to PC. Sackboy: A Big Adventure is also on this list. No Bloodborne, Spider-Man, Last of Us, or Last Guardian, or Gravity Rush. These games are not mentioned in the list, so I'm sorry for all the Bloodborne fans that are waiting for a sequel or a better version of the PlayStation 4 version. And no Spider-Man, which is sad. Maybe that's also more to some rights that Sony has over Spider-Man. It it can't come to PC or something, or maybe it will come to a later date to PC. You never know. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Gears 6 was mentioned in this leak. A Gears game that has not been announced yet whatsoever. We know that the coalition is busy with something else at the moment, but maybe they are also busy with Gears of War 6. I'm not the biggest Gears fan. I've tried my hands on Gears 1 and on Gears 4, and I've played them, they are alright, but they aren't really my type of game. I'm more into Halo. So we also have some project names: Project Holland, Project Typhoon, and Project Woodstock. Now, these are actually secret projects that we don't know really what game it is, but some insiders, Jess Gordon especially, has mentioned which games these might be. Project Holland is supposed to be Fable. Project Typhoon is supposed to be Contraband, which has been announced. And Project Woodstock, he believes, is to be Forza. And also Perfect Dark is mentioned, the Untitled Initiative game, which could be Perfect Dark because the Initiative is making Perfect Dark at the moment. I have actually a video on Perfect Dark, you can look it up on YouTube, about some maybe troubles in development for the team, outsourcing it to Square Enix. So some other games are also mentioned. Avowed is mentioned here. So Avowed might also get a PC release. Then we have 3 games that we don't know: Kalimba, Indus, and Gravity. These are not announced. I don't know any of these 3. Maybe they are also project names, but for now we don't know what these 3 are. So that's pretty interesting. Next, we have Square Enix, the Chrono Cross Remastered. The Chrono Cross Remaster, it wasn't announced when this Nvidia leak happened. It got announced and it got released. So that's real. Final Fantasy Tactics, which is basically maybe the Tactics Ogre Reborn game. It got trademarked, but we haven't seen anything of that. Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming to PC, and that was true. So that one is also true. And then we see something very interesting. Final Fantasy IX Remake. I find this pretty strange because Square Enix already has their hands full with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy XVI. So is this going to be a full-fledged Final Fantasy IX at the scale of Final Fantasy VII Remake? I don't know. Maybe if it exists at this moment in time, it might actually be more like a pixel remake, like an upscaled remastered, but with some changes, like an Octopath Traveler style of 2D high definition game with new lighting and maybe some textures, stuff like that. But maybe not a full-fledged remake like Final Fantasy VII, even though it does deserve it in my opinion, because Final Fantasy IX is really good. I would really hope it's a full-fledged remake, but if that is the case, who's going to develop it? I mean, does Square Enix have any teams left for that? Question mark. Final Fantasy XVI is in here, coming to PC at a later date. We still need to have the update for Final Fantasy XVI in general. Tomb Raider Anniversary, and a unannounced title by Square Enix that is using Unreal 5 engine. This could be actually the new Tomb Raider game that was announced at the Unreal Expo kind of thing, where they released Unreal 5 for the public. Square Enix came out, Crystal Dynamics came out, and they mentioned that they are making a new Tomb Raider on Unreal 5. This could be maybe the unannounced Unreal 5 game. So that one is also true. And then Kingdom Hearts 4, which was also true. Which, when this came out, this leak, I was really scratching my head. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, like, is that going to happen 4? But it was real. And that's also one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video. So that's awesome. Now let's go to Capcom. Resident Evil 4 Remake is in this list. We know of the existence of Resident Evil 4 Remake through some other rumors and leaks. It's definitely going to happen. When is it going to happen? I don't know. It might be announced this year, maybe later at the E3's time-ish, summer-ish conference for Sony maybe. Is it going to release this year? I don't think so. Maybe next year. But it's going to happen, and it is mentioned on this list, so it might get a PC release as well. Street Fighter 6 was real, got announced. Dragon's Dogma 2 also mentioned in this list. Really interesting game. Might be the next game after the developers of Devil May Cry 5. Really great game. By the way, play that. There were some rumors for Dragon's Dogma 2 as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's real. Monster Hunter 6 mentioned as well. Also probably then getting a PC release. I don't think this is like a Switch exclusive like the other Monster Hunters are. Might be a sequel to Monster Hunter World, the big Monster Hunter game that is on multiple platforms. Then Take-Two. GTA 3 Vice City and San Andreas Remastered. That was the definitive edition. Was true, this was also posted before the definitive edition, I believe, got announced. So that is really awesome. Bioshock RTX Remastered and Bioshock 2022. The new Bioshock is also in this list. So are we going to see that maybe this year getting announced? That would be really awesome. I have been waiting really long for a new Bioshock. There's also supposed to be this RTX remaster. So it might be like a 2 announcements in this, like, hey, we are now releasing the RTX remaster for PC. And oh, hey, we are making a new Bioshock and it's coming out next year. I don't think we will see a Bioshock this year. I think it should have already been announced if it were to happen this year. EA, Mirror's Edge RTX Remaster, an untitled Respawn game. 3 Star Wars games. I made a previous video about the big Star Wars games announced so far. And we have the first-person shooter, which hasn't been announced, by the way. But we know that it already exists. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order sequel. That's going to be announced probably next month on the Star Wars Celebration Day. And it might even come out this year. That was already said by Jeff Grubb. Really reliable person. And Titanfall 3 was mentioned in this list. Apparently, I didn't even know this. Titanfall, I'm seeing it on my screen here. I'm a big Titanfall fan. I don't like Apex Legends. I just want a Titanfall 3. That would be so awesome. I hope that's true. Bandai Namco has Tekken 8. I'm not the biggest Tekken fan, but that's really cool for Tekken fans that there is a new Tekken in development as well. Crytek, Crysis 4. Crysis 4 was in this list as well before it got announced. Well, we know already of the existence of Crysis 4 because it got announced. Also a game that was real on this list. Atlus, Catherine Full Body, supposed to come to PC. Shimigami Tensei 5. It's released on Switch, so that's interesting if that is going to get a PC release. Unfortunately, no Persona 5 or Persona 4. Well, Persona 4 is now on Steam, isn't on PC, but no Persona 5. That's a bummer. It's one of the best JRPGs in existence, and I would love to see that on PC. Also, no mentioning of Persona 6 existing, so that's a bummer. Valve, Half-Life 2 Remastered? Question mark? I'm putting the question mark there. Could be nice. I don't know why they would remaster Half-Life 2 now, because there are basically a lot of mods that do stuff like that. Maybe it's more than a normal remaster and maybe some kind of remake. But because there is remastered in the title, I'm going to take that just as a normal remaster. We got a FPS title from Paradox, XCOM 3, Injustice 3, Destroy All Humans 3. That's an interesting one because I think Destroy All Humans 2 Remake got also leaked on this list as well, if I remember that right. Death Stranding Director's Cut, also true, got leaked on this list before it was announced. Sniper Elite 5 coming to PC, also true. Some additional games. Total War 9 was on this list. Payday 3. I've seen leaks and stuff from that. That's real as well. Got leaked in this list before we knew the existence of Payday 3. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. That's pretty interesting as well. Those are some of the most noticeable titles that I have seen in this list. That is really interesting if all these games that still haven't been announced, like the new Bioshock, the Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 9 remake, if this is all true, the Untitled Respawn Star Wars game, that's still to come. Dragon's Dogma 2, Resident Evil 4 remake, if all these games are still going to be announced, it's giving this list even more credibility. But it already has a lot of credibility. A lot of games got announced after this leak, which is really cool. So what do you guys think? Are we going to see Resident Evil 4 remake, Bioshock, Dragon's Dogma? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. Give us a like. Maybe subscribe, that would be really cool. And I will see you guys in the next Get Rekt news video. Bye bye!